Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So it's straight up 8 o'clock. It's still Wednesday night, August 30th, 2023. And in so many ways in my head, it still feels like it's towards the end of July. Because I'm reliving that as I edit those vlogs. Man, I really wish there's not enough light for anybody to see that. There's a sidewalk there, but it's completely blocked by bushes that are over. And I've walked this before. I know it's blocked right there, too. So for one of these days, I'm going to come here and just fucking trim that shit myself. Because I walk here. I don't walk here a lot. If I walk here enough, I would like it to be trimmed. Oh, so yeah, I got a little road rash. It's not that bad. I didn't think it would be that bad. From wiping out on the scooter on the way to work today. And yeah, if you want to know more about that, watch the previous video. Today's been pretty interesting at work. Still no sign of Carlos, and Carlos is only supposed to work Sunday through Wednesday, so I'm not even expecting him tomorrow. The word I'm getting is that supposedly he hasn't quit, that he's just sick, but I'm starting to have my doubts about him coming back. And right now they've kind of got a hiring freeze just because we're so slow at the rental car facility, specifically at Hertz, which is fine. I'm getting it primarily done myself. It's just a lot of walking. Today was the first day in quite a long time that me and Keontae and the French guy, I always forget his name, I just want to call him the Frog. I do. We were all rolling together, and it was kind of funny because I was stuck in this, I don't know, we're in some kind of Ford small SUV, and it had the child rear door locks that I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to disable. Like, it looked like there was a control for it that you could move, that you couldn't do it with just your fingers, you had to use a key. And I turned it 90 degrees with my key, and it didn't seem to change the setting. I still had to have somebody let me out of the back seat. And of course, I'm sitting in the back seat because they had already started riding together before I showed up at work. And you think I'd remember like what time these shifts start. God, it's a shift I used to work. You think I could remember that, but I'm just drawing a blank. But I'm pretty sure Keontae gets there like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. And the French guy, whose name I just can't seem to remember at the moment, Emmanuel, he gets there, I think, at 8 o'clock. I don't get there till 2, so... By the way, I was fully on time. Actually clocked in 5 minutes early today. That was pretty cool. So yeah, they were already in the shag they were driving in by the time I caught up with them. So I had to sit in the back seat. And the first time it came time for me to get out, I couldn't get out. So there were several times where I was just sitting in the back seat doing nothing, and it wasn't by choice. I told Emmanuel a couple of times that, hey, you gotta let me out. And Keontae and I were talking about how it had child seats and we couldn't figure out how to disable them. And Emmanuel was in the seat. I don't know where his brain was, or maybe his comprehension of English wasn't enough to understand what we were saying about it. But yeah, there were several times that I just sat and I was working on editing video. That's all right. Gave me some time for that. But yeah, I just stuck in the back seat. And at one point, Keontae even said to him, it's like, well, if you want Dan to help you, you're going to have to let him out. And I mean, granted, he could have done that, but I mean, he's in the driver's seat, you know. He wants my help. He's the one getting out in the passenger seat. He needs to let me help. If I was driving the shag and I realized that that was an issue with its seats, I'd be just for going and getting another one, because screw that noise. Speaking of screw that noise, I just posted this a few days ago on Snapchat, and the price might change by the time this actually gets posted on YouTube, since I'm currently just shy of 6 weeks behind on posting my vlog. But this has got to be the most outrageous price gouging I've ever seen for gasoline in my life. $5.99, and it doesn't say credit or nothing. That's just regular. That's the price for unleaded at this here Shell, which happens to be the closest gas station to the rental car center and the rental car return. It really doesn't matter. Like, if you're coming off the freeway, this is the only gas station that's anywhere near the rental car center, and these guys are just gouging like crazy. trying to take advantage of people who have rental cars that are worried what they're going to pay for a penalty for not returning a rental car with a full tank of gas. Generally speaking, I'm all for letting the free market decide stuff. $5.99 for gas. That's freaking outrageous, which explains why all their other prices are so damn high here. But I'm on foot, so I'm just gonna have to cope with it. And welcome back, YouTube. It is 8:10 right now. Grabbed myself a microwave burrito and one of the larger bottles of the brisk iced tea. I believe it's a 1 liter bottle. They've got the blueberry in stock there, and yeah, they're price gouging a little bit on that stuff too, but those particular items, the gouge wasn't too terrible bad, and I can use an EBT card on those, so that helps. Hold on, there's DPS right there. So as I was saying earlier, it's been a pretty interesting day at work today. 4:30 is when Emmanuel left. It blows my mind how little situational awareness he has and how much he doesn't just understand what's going on. And he's worked one day more than I have. Now, it's possible that he's missed some days that I haven't missed, but I know our orientation was the same day. His first day was the following day. I didn't work that day because I had stayed with my daughter in the hospital all night. And then I came into work the next day, and he had 1 day of work experience on me at that point. And it wasn't that long ago I uploaded the video of that day, and I was even commenting then that even at the end of that day, it felt like I was more familiar with the job than he was, with him having literally twice as much experience as me. Anyway, yeah, like, oh Jesus, I just got hit by, ouch. Oh, that hurt, that scratched my eye. Damn it. Kind of landscaping push thing, I couldn't even see it. Holy shit, oh, that hurt. Man, I hope I didn't scratch my eyelid too terrible bad. Ouch. Hey, I really wish the city would crack down on people that don't trim landscaping adjacent to sidewalks. And ironically, I think this is city property, so it's the city of Phoenix. I'm not trimming their own here. God damn, that hurt. I think I literally scratched my lower right eye. Ouch. So where was I before I got assaulted by a bush with sharp thorns and shit on it that was blocking the sidewalk in a way that wasn't particularly visible. Yeah, Emmanuel always seems to be a little on the clueless side. It just seems like he's kind of fallen into just being as lazy on the job as possible, where he just likes to drive around in a vehicle and play with a cell phone and stare into just kind of sit and do nothing. And I generally always try to stay busy doing some kind of work. Like, even if I'm not busy with maintenance cars and I don't have stuff to move around on the yard, at this point they've trained me on the basics of doing ups and downs, particularly on the dollar side. So like yesterday, I probably spent an hour just doing up downs on foot for $1, just because I figured it would help him catch up, and I was all caught up on my work. But now I'm riding with him, and just half the time he's driving in the shack, and he's just kind of driving aimlessly. It just seems like he's driving aimlessly to drive aimlessly and waste time. I find it kind of frustrating. I mean, I was making use of the time working on editing my video, and I was hoping to get it edited and uploaded before my lunch break was over, but it's looking like that's probably not going to happen, which sucks, because I think I've only got about 5 minutes of video left to edit. By the time I get over to the main break room and get my burrito microwaved and eaten, I'm probably going to be out of break. But anyway, after he left, I just did the usual of putting the shag into the maintenance line it belonged in, and just doing everything on foot at that point, where I'm walking to whatever task is closest to me based on where I'm physically located at, And even if I'm not done moving everything on the lot, if I move something to like the front of the pink line or the front of the orange line, which is the shop line, the shop line and the preventative maintenance line, or as the sign says, the PMS line. Always trips me out when I see a car sitting on jack stands over here. Yeah, when I find myself like kind of close to those street lights directly ahead of me, that's when I'm close enough to walk across the car lot, walk across the car wash the other side, and get it clean and drive it upstairs and start wandering around upstairs. And yeah, I do a lot of walking. At this point, they really can't spare anybody to help me. I did ask leadership tonight if they could, and they told me to partner up with the guy that does the electric cars, the dwarf that I mentioned earlier on a different video. I just spent quite a bit of time with him. He trained me on most of the basic stuff on how to do stuff with EVs. I'm still kind of unclear on the workflow on that. That's not really what I was asking for him to do, but when he showed that he was willing to do that, I figured it would be a good opportunity to learn it. So I know the basics now of how the EV charging and stuff works, so that's pretty cool. And there was a whole safety meeting, and I'm up to the break room. I want to really microwave my burrito, and I'm hungry. But I'll explain that stuff later, because it was interesting. At least it was to me. And welcome back, YouTube. You know, I was going to take the rest of my break in the break room, but absolutely nobody in there is speaking English, and it was just feeling kind of creepy to me. So, I'm not speaking Spanish either, so I don't know what the heck language they're all speaking. But anyway, it's 8:20 p.m. and I question the accuracy of that clock. Not all of these car stereos get their time off the internet. Nope, it's actually 8:23. That sounds more appropriate. Theoretically, oh hey, phone slipped. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Going up the ramp right now, by the way. Yeah, I'm not counting this part of my break. I'm actually working right now, moving, getting annoyed at his phone's inability to stay in that spot. It's not going to stay there. You know, usually when I put it right there, it'll stay just how I turn it because of the rubberized part of that container. But oh wow, and I had somebody following me up as I was going retarded slow. That was about a moment. Oh shit, and this one's going to PC. I was getting ready to put the flip wrap, and I just realized it's going to PC. Whoops. That's alright. Nobody looks that closely at what I'm doing anyway. So anyway, the training on the electric vehicles, that was really cool. And actually working with the little person who handles that was kind of nice. It's the most time I've spent with him by far. And I feel like I learned a lot from him, including how to do a lot of the stuff with the Tesla 3 with the touchscreen. He also showed me a lot of stuff with the Polestars. Yeah, what I was actually hoping to do was partner up with him and like one of us shag the other, or take turns, you know, driving for each of us to do the stuff we're supposed to do, because he's doing all his stuff on foot and I'm doing all my stuff on foot. But I guess I didn't communicate that well, and I think he's so fixated on his job that he can't really wrap his head around working like that. So that's fine. I'll just do what I do, let him do what he does. But I appreciate the education on how the electric car stuff works. It was one of the leads that suggested doing that, partnering up with him. But I kind of got the feeling he's like me. Now, speaking of, you know, who is a lead and who isn't, I was told I was becoming lead when I went to night shift. But the leads actually wear a yellow safety vest, and I'm wearing an orange safety vest, and the trainees wear blue safety vests, which is interesting because this is the vest I got on my first day. I never had a trainee safety vest. I can't explain that. At any rate, it seems like he is to night shift electric what I am to night shift maintenance. He's the lead of himself. The actual leads are handling the up-down crew. They don't really worry about what he's doing. They don't really worry about what I'm doing. They know that we're both people that have very, very good work ethics, or we wouldn't be in these positions on these shifts. And they see us getting the work done. So at any rate, I'm working on foot. There was a whole safety meeting, and I want to talk about that, but I mean, at this point, I'm not working, and I need to at least take the last, what should be 10 minutes of my remaining break, and eat my burrito. And I really want to see if I can get that video edited and uploaded, because I'm really trying to get less weeks behind, although it isn't really working out.